What's up guys, and welcome back to Tech Plant. Today I'm going to show you what to do if your aquarium floating plants become infested with aphids. Let's check it out. This is definitely a video I never thought I would actually have to make, but once I found out my problem, I kind of looked up all over the internet trying to find out like how exactly to deal with these, but there is no good way and there is no good information, so I'm going to show you how I dealt with it and it worked. So the first part of the problem here is actually identifying that you do have the same problem I have, and that is aphids on your duckweed and other floating plants. You can see in all this footage that there are just aphids literally everywhere. I was shocked that this got as bad as it did before I noticed, but again, they're so small and you're just not looking for this type of pest on an aquarium of all things. But because I have other plants, it does make sense that they could have crossed over, but still, very strange to see aphids on floating plants like this. Normally you could just spray your plants down with some sort of insecticide or other chemical, but because we're dealing with an aquarium, we have to be really careful that we don't kill any sensitive fish or shrimp. Lucky for me, I don't have too many aquariums. I only have 2 and they're not very big, so I don't have as much work to do, but some of you guys might have large ones and you're gonna have a lot of work you have to do. Now, before you just abandon your floating plants and think you can just start over, don't do that, because that can cause a huge nitrate spike in your tank. These plants eat tons of it, so if you just remove this all at once, you can cause a huge spike in your tank, which would kill everything. So what I recommend we actually do is remove the plants, but only for about 20 minutes. I'm sure you can go for a few hours like this without causing any issues, depending on how well your tank is stocked, but we need to remove the plants first because we're going to physically wash the aphids off. I'm using like a fine mesh strainer, but you could use literally any sort of strainer that doesn't let the duckweed and your other floating plants fall through. And we're just going to manually wash all the aphids off. Luckily, these things are not aquatic in the sense that they can swim, so if you just keep submerging them and whatnot, they'll float to the surface. These are the ones that just didn't make it down the drain, but there were about probably 50 to 100 of these bad guys. But luckily, we can just manually wash most of them off and be all set. So basically, I just, again, like I said, took all my floating plants out of the tanks, and I just washed them all until I didn't see any aphids. This will not get every single aphid, so for the next week or 2, you need to watch the surface of your plants and watch for aphids and manually kill them. You can just do this with the tweezers and it's going to be much more manageable after you've washed all your plants. I think I found maybe a total of 10 to 15 more over the course of the next week and a half, and after that they've been eradicated ever since. But you do have to be diligent with this and don't be lazy, because if you're lazy one day you can allow some more to breed and then you'll just have your same problem again. So just stick with it, wash it all really good, and then watch for the next week and a half to 2 weeks and make sure you kill any aphids you see, and really take some time to look, otherwise you'll be stuck with this problem for who knows how long. Alright guys, that pretty much sums up this video. If you follow these steps, you too can be aphid free. May your plants grow strong and healthy. I'll see you next time.